Hello and welcome back to the channel. As we settle into 2022, let's have a look at some very desirable cars. Not sure about you, but I spend way too much time window shopping on the internet for electric cars I'd love to buy but just can't afford. And when range is king, there's a list of cars that I would love on my driveway. Now, I'm not just pulled up a list of the biggest batteries or longest range cars. No, functioned in things like functionality and desirability as well. So, this is our list. Can't imagine yours will be the same. Watch to the very end and then let us know what you think in the comments below. My name is Martin Lee, and if you like the channel, hit subscribe and the bell icon so you never miss a show. There are loads of people out there that have been driving luxury German sedans and coupes for many years, and some of them just are itching to go electric. But for many people in the market, they just don't like what's out there at the minute. Maybe the minimalism of Tesla, the styling of Polestar, or the Android system, for whatever reason, doesn't do it for them. So we've plumped for the BMW i4, which really seems to be hitting a nerve in the EV world. It has an 84 kilowatt-hour battery, of which 80.7 is usable. WLTP rated range, 350 miles, probably good for a solid 300 in most weather conditions. And if you're treating it nicely, heading around in mild conditions at low speed, I reckon 400 miles in this car. That's crazy. With a peak charging rate of 200 kilowatts on DC charging, the i4 will get you back on the road really quickly. And if you want the performance, and you should spend the extra bit on the M50 variant. But if it's range you're after, stick with the eDrive 40 and don't go specking up to the big wheels. As we said at the outset, we brought in a few factors into the equation today, and one of those is desirability. And to that end, we just had to put in the Porsche Taycan to the list. We wanted the Audi on the list as well, but considering the similarities, we decided to pick this one. We're talking range today, so that leads us to choose the Taycan GTS that's coming out this year. The Taycan Plus will get you the same range for a third less money, but get the GTS. That's the one we want. 83.7 kilowatt-hour battery is good for 300 miles of range in the real world. The Taycan actually has a 93.4 kilowatt-hour battery. It can charge to 100% faster, maintaining a really great charging curve. I'd like to get access to maybe another 3 or 4 kilowatt hours for that added bit of range, and I'll worry about looking after the battery health myself. With DC charging speeds peaking at 262 kilowatts and holding around 200 kilowatts all the way through to almost 60%, factoring in the comfort and the luxury, I think you've got yourself an amazing distance EV, especially if you are heading the back roads and maybe a mountain pass or two. Imagine that. We couldn't make this list and not have the Mercedes-Benz EQS 450 Plus in here. Now, the German manufacturer has a mixed bag on offer at the moment. There are some highly inefficient big SUVs that never had a chance of making this list, and then you've got cars like the EQS 450. It's not the fastest in the lineup, so if you want the extra bit of power, go for the AMG variant. But for us, we think the loss of range doesn't actually justify the speed for a long road trip. 0 to 62 miles an hour, 6.2 seconds, plenty fast for us anyway. The EQS 450 has a usable 107.8 kilowatt hour battery. It's a whopper and 10% bigger than an equivalent Tesla. We reckon the EQS is good for 400 miles. And hey, if you were hypermiling this, optimal conditions, 500 miles? Anyway, it's an absolute highway beast, the lowest drag coefficient of any car ever made, only really beaten by the long-gone EV1. Oh man, even as I talk about this car now, I don't know how we put it third. This should be number 1 in the list. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. While we're talking big, expensive sedans, we had to get the Lucid in there. The Grand Touring variant has a usable battery of 105 kilowatt hours, shy of the Mercedes and about 10% bigger than the Model S Tesla. Although the EPA figure came in at 520 miles, that's how many of the launch editions they're making of this car, you probably won't see that number in general driving. With a big battery and crazy efficient motor, the Lucid weighs over 2 tons. We think anything from 400 upwards is an amazing realistic figure from this car. Although the Lucid will charge faster than a Model S if you can find a 350 kilowatt high-powered charger, it doesn't have access to that incredible supercharging network, well, at least not yet, until Tesla open it up. Now, with a range that is so high and access to Electrify America or Ionity over here, you're not going to have an issue. But for us, that's the main reason it stays in second place. You know, it'd be so easy just to pick every Tesla variant to go on any list we ever make, but since we're looking for the ultimate long-range EV, I went for the Model S. It's been around for a decade and has proven itself over hundreds of millions of miles. But what sets Teslas apart is their efficiency, as opposed to just slapping in a massive battery for the sake of it. The Model S has a usable capacity a little bit smaller than it used to be, just under 100 kilowatt hours, a very low drag coefficient, and great efficiency at highway speeds. Of course, you'll get different range depending on driving style and conditions, but the Model S is a solid 350, maybe 400 mile car. Now, you'll see that drop to 300 miles in terrible weather conditions and if you're driving at faster speeds, but be careful and you're going to really exceed the official range. Factor in the space in the back, effortless acceleration. Well, I mean, effort to hold on to the steering wheel, and the incredible supercharging network. And you have what we think is the ultimate long-range EV on the market today. Hey, I'm well over time, so I've got to stop now. Incredible cars in the list, and we could have done the top 20 cars. Like, it's so hard to pick a list like this. So now you've watched it all, what do you think? Leave us a comment below. I'll make sure I read them all and respond to everyone as well, because I love to keep the conversation going in the chat below. We've tried to be balanced today to consider various countries, continents, charging networks, prices, loads of factors. It's really hard to make a list like this, but let me know what you think. Now it's time to have your say. And if you liked our video today, give us a thumbs up. It tells us to make more like it. And I'll see you on the next one.